Hey, kitty girls, how about the new episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars Season 4, Episode 3? Got it. I really need to make a bloopers of the amount of times I messed that up, seriously. So let's get right into it, because my last episode was 30 minutes, and this one should hopefully be a little bit shorter than that. But we start off with Pheromone is gone. Oh, they were all doing that. It was so funny. Valentina comes in and she's starting it off again with like, oh, it's so hard winning. Like these decisions are difficult. I'm like, oh my god, not again. Stop it. But then she's like, basically, Farrah had a second chance. She messed it up. She was in the bottom. She deserved to go home. We don't give people three chances here. Again, kind of to me, I'm like against like the Chi Chi DeVayne of All Stars 3. Like just let him go. It's time. Monet's confessional. She's mad that she didn't win the lip sync. She thinks that she turned out better than Valentina, and you know what? I do agree with Monet for the lip sync specifically, but at the same time too, you were like you shouldn't have been in the top two to begin with. So I guess just be thankful for that. Anyways, flashing over to Gia. Monique is tired of Gia. She's making that comment, and Gia's still being her shady ass self. Trinity starts to try to throw some shade at Monet, and she's saying her outfits are cheap. And Monet is, basically like clapping back at Trinity's initial lip sync look with the dress, and I don't know, they're trying to start something. It kind of fizzled out, whatever. Now then they're flashing to the previous winners, and whoever wins this one will join the Hall of Fame. And I hate seeing Trixie's face on there every single time, but I guess I'll get over it at some point. So today's episode is all about the Snatch Game. Snatch Game, this though is the Snatch Game of love. For the first time ever, you have Snatchlers and you have the drag queens who are dressing up as different celebrities. And the goal is to play and to win the hearts of these Snatchlers. The two Snatchlers are Gus Kenworthy. Every single time I want to say Kinsworthy or Kensworthy, because I had a teacher in high school who was Mrs. Kinsworthy, and she was awesome. And then Keenan Lonsdale is the other one. So they are kind of panning over to showing who is going to be who. Naomi Smalls is going to be Wendy Williams. And, I was like, okay, that should be interesting. They flash back to her season 8. Apparently she didn't do so well on that, so I think she wanted to redeem herself here. Monet, they flash back to her Maya Angelou episode in season 10. And she really did well on that one. I remember that specifically. It was hilarious. So this time she's basically like, if I do anything less than Maya Angelou, then it's not going to be good enough. So I have to really step it up to continue. So she's going to be Whitney Houston. So, okay. Latrice, she flashed back to her season 4 Snatch Game, and she was commenting on like how much she hated it. And, it was just too like chaotic for her. It was not a fun time for her. So she's hoping she can have some fun on this one. So Manila and Latrice, I love their relationship together. I'm glad that they're on together. They're talking, and Manila is like saying last week that she was in the bottom 3. She was like, that's a wake-up call for me. And I was like, girl, good. Get it together. Step it up. And so Manila, she's like, this could be our last time ever competing on this show. Like, we're older. We're from some of the original seasons. Like, we really need to step it up. And Latrice is like, yeah, I feel like I've been coasting this entire time. And to be fair, yeah, she kind of has. She's been safe every single week. And in my opinion, she should have been in the bottom instead of Manila last week. But whatever. Both of them are still here, so we're fine with that. So they're kind of coming to a realization that they need to keep up with these younger queens. So the drama then begins again with Gia saying that for the Snatch Game, she's going to be Caitlyn Jenner because she's trans. They're both trans. Then someone comments like, "Isn't Trinity going to be isn't Trinity going to be Trinity going to be Caitlyn Jenner?" And Gia's like, okay. And so she goes over and they're talking, and Trinity's like, well, I want to be Caitlyn. And Gia's like, well, what you want to do is not necessarily what you're gonna do. And in her whiny Gia voice, and she's saying, I'm trans, she's trans. It just matches. And Trinity's like, well, that's not, we're not just gonna give it to you because you're both trans. Trinity's like, no, ma'am, we're not doing this. Like, she's fighting back real hard. And so somehow, actually, Gia got pushed back into thinking, okay, maybe I'll do something else. And I think she finally realized, like, I need to stop battling with these girls. They're not into me anymore. Not that they ever really seem to like her from the get-go. But she decided to be Jenny Bowie, which is Cardi B's nail tech. And she made it sound like she's going to be like, well, I know how to impersonate like off the boat characters or whatever. And I was like, we'll see how good that goes. I'm not holding my breath for that. That it sounds like it could end up in a disaster, which we find out it does. So whatever. We're gonna wait for that. And then Gia, last bit of shade before she goes off. She's like, well, that's fine. You to Trinity, you can be Caitlyn Jenner. You're Caucasian. You have an effed up nose, just like Caitlyn. And like, she just cannot leave without making a comment like that. So we have our first 4 contestants: Monet, Naomi. Monet as Whitney Houston, Naomi as Wendy Williams, Trinity the Tuck as Caitlyn Jenner, and Valentina as Eartha Kitt. And they're competing to win the heart of Gus Kenworthy. And so basically, it was pretty boring for the most part. Trinity stole the show. She was pretty funny. She wasn't like fantastic, but she was way better than everybody else. Monet was just boring as Whitney. Naomi was good as Wendy Williams. I thought her impersonations were fine. They just weren't funny, But she did Wendy like well. So I gave her props for that. And then Valentina as Eartha Kitt, it was uncomfortable. She was probably doing well with the impersonation, but like it just again wasn't funny, and she just kind of was talking a lot. So whatever. At the end though, when they announced the winner and then the losers walked off, Naomi put on like this little Statue of Liberty crown, and then she was walking off, and then she passed out onto the floor, and I thought that was hilarious. So big props to her. The next 4, so Trinity won Gus. So the next four then are Monique as Tiffany Haddish, Manila as Barbara Streisand. And when I saw her at first, I forgot who it was. I was like, wait, which drag queen is that? I was like, oh my gosh, she had like the huge nose. She like her makeup was pretty funny. It was good. And then Gia as Jenny Bowie, and then Latrice as Della Reese. And so that was, and they're trying to go for Keenan Lonsdale. That was the worst Snatch anything I've ever seen. So it was incredibly cringeworthy purely because of Gia. She was super, like, I don't know, like she was kind of racist with how she was talking. She was very demeaning to other drag queens, and she's talking to Latrice, basically saying like, oh, like, he looked like a man dressed as a woman, and he big, and it's just like, okay, like that. It's not funny anymore. It's just super cringy. She was like being super blunt to the point of discomfort, where it's like, she was trying to explain like subtle jokes that were being made. She's like, "Oh, you talking like gay sex?" And it's just like, just stop, please, just stop. I had to turn away. Manila actually even told Gia during the episode like to shut up, and then in her confessional, she was like, Latrice was rolling her eyes so far back that it was like she was getting head, and I like cracked up at that. So it just was a very bad episode, or bad version of it. Manila was like, she held it together. Latrice like broke character. She was just pissed at Gia. Monique wasn't that great, and Manila held it together, was kind of funny, so she won kind of, in my opinion, by default. It was terrible, and at that point I was like, if Gia does not leave this show, I'm gonna be pissed. This is so horrible. So at the end they show Gus and Keenan and the 2 winners, and then they're like, oh, congratulations, and then Gus and Keenan actually make out, which is kind of funny. I think they like fake make out, whatever. But at that point it seemed like everyone was like, yeah, Gia's definitely going home. But Trinity and Valentina and Manila are talking, and Manila makes a comment, and she's like, well, Gia's probably in the bottom, but like, what if someone else that's a fierce competitor is also in the bottom? This could be the opportunity to get someone else out. And I immediately was like, no, girl, don't. Why would you do that? Like, don't pull a Morgan McMichaels, you just like, you brought it upon yourself. Now you're bringing it upon yourself that if someone knocks you out later, they can easily say, well, it's because of that comment that you made. That was like such a poor decision on Manila's part. And at the same time too, I'm like, nobody should go home other than Gia this episode. You can figure it out later, but like Gia is the one that needs to go home. So, I was, I'm team Manila, but at the same time too, I'm like, girl, come on, don't ruin this. So anyways, they flash over to Latrice. talking about she wasn't having fun with Gia. She was talking to Gia, and Gia was like apologizing, and she was saying, I was desperately trying to be funny, like it didn't work out type thing. And I guess I can give Gia a little bit of the credit. I think maybe she was trying to be funny, she just missed the mark. But at the same time too, like this girl, you've been so obnoxious this entire season. However, maybe I give people credit, or like too much credit. Someone to be that shady, there's something probably like deep down irritating them, bothering them. She kind of reveals it throughout the episode. So I'm not gonna hate on her too much, but at the same time too, oh my god, was ready for her to go home. So they also revealed that Manila is married, and I actually saw her Instagram post recently. She's like a year. It's been a year since they were married, and Latrice is engaged, and Manila and her couple are so cute. Like her and her husband are so cute, and Latrice was talking about Christopher waiting at home, and like. She's like, it's just so nice to have someone, he wrote her a note and put it in the bottom of her luggage, and she just like teared up and said like, it's nice to have someone in your corner, and made me tear up, and it was cute. So anyways, and then like to ease the seriousness, I guess later they showed Monet asking about if there are any alien drag queens, if people think that there are any aliens out there, and if there's alien drag queens. Love Monet. I'm glad she's on the show, but like, step up your drag. So, anyways, so we go to the runway look. Rue comes out in her sparkly, revealing outfit. Really cute, But honestly, of all the outfits out there, Keenan Lonsdale's I thought was really nice. He had like the sleeveless shirt. It was studded. He had like Africa on the front. He had his little beret on his head. He was looking good. So category is boots the house down. I was like, all right, we'll see how this turns out. So we start off with Monet. She's a no for me, dog, already. Like, I was looking at her. She's blue. She has this blue black. She describes it as this Rihanna dirt bike look. It looked loose. It looked floppy. To be fair, though, she was the only one, in my opinion, that like really, she had like, she really emphasized the boots. So she got the category down. But at the same time, too, just looked kind of cheap. So, as Trinity said, the next person was Naomi. She came out like this white and black outfit with the horns. She describes it a Viking warrior princess. I really enjoyed the look. I thought it was really nice, but then the whole point was boots, and I was like, oh, the boots were lacking. So I really like the horns, but that didn't really make sense with the category. But she looked good. Trinity came out as this biker girl. I really liked this look. I thought it was really nice. She's like, it's Versace, Chanel, step away, Valentina, so it was kind of, it was cute. Valentina comes out in this, in my opinion, I thought the suit was gorgeous. It was this nude, like boots all the way up to the top, just all one piece. So I thought that was kind of a clever way of doing the category where, boots are the emphasis. It's just all connected. It's just one essentially giant boot. But at the same time too, monochromatic. It was kind of basic, but she just looked stunning as a drag queen. So her outfit, I can see, wasn't the greatest in terms of like the most stunning, but it was cute. I like the idea. Monique comes out. I actually really loved Monique's look for once. She came out with this huge hood over her head. She did her turn. Monique she's a star in her own way. Like she feels herself, she has confidence, she knows what she's doing. She comes out with the big hood over her head, turns, does her little look, and then she just struts down. She moves the hood back and she struts down the runway. It was a nice look. She's like a little Red Riding Hood type outfit essentially, and the hood was everything. So Manila then comes up, and I thought this was so funny, but like, it was just so hilarious. She's tied up. She's all tied up in these belts, and she describes it as she's a leather daddy, like sex bunny type outfit. She has a carrot in her mouth. She's hopping the entire runway. She hops. She can't walk because she's all tied up. And I was like, damn, like, I'm glad she didn't fall. So I thought it was huge points for creativity and for uniqueness, I guess. And so Gia comes out. She's in a denim outfit, and she looks good. I like her outfits. I think they're nice. I think they're good outfits. Would I like go crazy over them? No, but it's entertaining. She did, she dresses well. So there you go, Gia. Latrice, Boring as usual. I'm trying to give her more credit, but come on. Like, I don't know. It's a black bodysuit. She has like the big poofy hair. She has silver like tassels. Like I don't know. Oh, and I forgot to mention too. One of the nice parts about Monique's was she had wolf boots. Completely forgot to mention that. I love that part too. Like she had wolf mouth, like heads with the mouth like coming up the shin, and then the rest of it was like the furry boots. So it's almost like she killed wolves and made them into boots. So, anyways, being a vegetarian slash vegan, I'm not a big fan of that, but at the same time too, knowing it's faux, I'm okay. So, anyways, then after Latrice, they are announcing the winners or the bottom and the tops. So Monet and Monique are safe. I was like, okay, whatever, that's fine. They give the critiques to Naomi first. They're like, you're a good Wendy. She didn't win, but at the same time too, she held together. She was good. Her impersonation was funny. But the look of Naomi, you wouldn't know what the category was based on her because her boots weren't really emphasized. Trinity the Tuck, like that was Ross's apparently favorite snatch game. I would not agree with that whatsoever, but it was definitely the best of the 8 today, but of all time, no. But they liked her look as well. Valentina mentioned that they loved her runway look, but then Michelle Visage was saying that her crotch was like kept dropping, and like as they showed it again, I was like, oh, I guess I could see that. It wasn't tight, it wasn't perfectly fitting. Which if you're gonna to be fair, if you're gonna pull off a monochromatic like nude suit, it's got to be perfect. Unless you're doing something bigger with it, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be on point, and it was not. So I agree with that. And then the snatch game was really bad with Valentina. Manila, they were commenting on her confidence is back, and she's she's back in the game pretty much. And I was like, yeah, good job, Manila, loved it. Michelle read her for filth. Basically described that the character that Gia was actually trying to play. Jenny Bowie had like a really good story. She went through a lot to get here. She's a very successful individual, and Gia made her a hoe, and that's not okay type thing. So I was like, good job, Michelle. Like you're doing your job justice at this point. And then Latrice, they mentioned that she got affected by Gia, and that that's not good. So. Anyways, the top 2 were Trinity the Tuck. So this is her second time in the top. And Manila, she's at the top. I was so pumped. But at the same time, too, now I'm just like, okay, well, if she wins, she better take Gia out. That's all I care about at this point. So they go down the list. Naomi, safe. Then they go Latrice, safe. And I was like, oh my God. Like Latrice, this is the second week in a row you should have been in the bottom, girl. Like, oh my goodness. So now it's Valentina and Gia are in the bottom. And I was like, there's no, it should have been Gia and Latrice. Just like last week, it should have been Farrah and Latrice. Like, Latrice is dodging bullets left and right. So, anyways, in my opinion, I was like, well, Gia's gone. Unless it's Manila. Because if she mentioned that in front of Valentina and Trinity the first time when she was like, well, it's our time to take out somebody. So, like, I don't know. I was scared. I was thinking at that moment, I was like, if you take out Valentina, I'm not sure if I'm going to be Team Manila after this. So get it together. If you win, get Gia out and that's it. So Trinity talks to Manila immediately, and she's like, hey, where's your head at? All that stuff. And Manila is still considering sending Valentina. And I was like, this is... Why? Why are you shooting yourself in the foot like this? I don't understand. So... I get the strategy, but at the same time too, the strategy kind of offsets when you tell everybody your strategy, because then everyone looks at you as not trustworthy. And why would they want to keep someone around that's not trustworthy? It doesn't make any sense. So Manila better expect to be in the top every single week. Otherwise, she could have just wrote herself off the show. Anyways, so. Valentina's talking, and she's talking to the group, and she's basically saying she deserves to stay. She's handling it with grace. Valentina just doesn't care. She has this very calm attitude this season, which is so funny. And she always is drinking with her straw. She it's just so, she's so funny. Gia is saying that she's feeling alone, And oh my god, big eye roll. And so yes, I feel bad for her, but at the same time too, you did it to yourself. Like, get over it. She is mentioning though that she's like kind of confused as to who she is. She's talking to Manila and she's saying like she just feels uncomfortable as a man dressed as a woman. She feels bad that she kind of made Latrice feel bad about that. And she feels like being back on Drag Race has kind of brought out her old bad habits, and I think she's just kind of in a in something. She's in her feelings. Manila's buying it. She loves Gia, so I'm like, oh my gosh, if she wins, Valentina could very well go home and I would be pissed. So anyways, Trinity actually is talking with Valentina and she tells her Manila is thinking that she might send Valentina home. And Valentina doesn't care. She's just like, she's drinking her drink, sipping her straw, and like, she is just, basically, I don't know. Trinity's telling Valentina, like, I want you in the top 4 with me. Valentina agrees. Then they pan over to Monet and the other girls talking, and Monet is like, oh yeah, people have like mistaken me for Nene Leakes or whatever, and Naomi like is like, oh yeah, you have Nene's old nose, and it's like just some playful shade. Valentina's still sipping her straw. She doesn't care. She has like this just carefree attitude this season. And then Manila is talking with Valentina, and Manila basically is like, well, I don't know, like, how can I trust if I don't send you home, like, how am I going to be able to keep up with you? Trying to flatter her a little bit, and then she like throws out the, well, if I save you now, will you do me the favor if I'm in the bottom and you're in the top to show me that same grace? And Valentina is not having it. She does not trust this girl. She does not trust Manila, and she literally tells her, she's like, I wouldn't ask that of you. And then she twists it in a sense of like, but like, put it this way, I would like to compete against you in the top, so I'm now putting the onus on you to make this decision. And like, I was like, okay, I really liked how Valentina handled it. But she's not messing around. She's not playing games. She doesn't care enough to be sneaky, and she's just who she is, and whether you like it or not. So they pan back to the Rue and the judges, and Keenan and Gus are thumb wrestling, and Gus destroys Keenan. I think what they showed, at least, Gus like won like 3 times. So anyways, they show the lip sync. So Trinity, she is picking her the name out of the box. It's an easy pick. She's gonna pick Gia. I was like, it'd be funny if they just showed her pick up Gia, because we all knew. Manila, on the other hand, not certain. Trinity's outfit, she has like this Big Bird top and this Jailhouse Rock skirt. Not a big fan of it. Wasn't loving it. But Manila's outfit was stunning for the lip sync. I thought it was beautiful, black and studded. It was just like a very biker-esque kind of show today. They lip sync to How Will I Know by Whitney Houston. And Valentina's rooting for Trinity, and she's like, come on, bitch. Like, you gotta, she's seeing Trinity dance. She's not doing that great. And Valentina's like, come on, like, do this. And Manila she keeps stepping in front of Trinity. Like, she's like imposing herself. She's like pushing herself up in the front. Trinity keeps like trying to be funny and like move side to side behind Manila, but Manila is really more expressional in this. And while I was watching, I was like, I think she might win this. So I was also wondering that if she won and she did take out Gia, that Manila might actually be the new villain in the next episode. But anyways, Manila wins. And the moment we've all been waiting for, basically, who is she going to pick? What drama did she stir up? And is she going to continue that drama with actually kicking out Valentina? Because the entire world would explode if that happened. Manila pulls out the name, and it's Gia. And we're like, oh my god. Like, all that drama for you just shouldn't have said anything. So I was, whatever. They do it for the ratings. But I was like, Manila, girl, you better not ever be in the bottom anymore, because I think people are going to be pissed off at you. So my theory is she's going to kick off Gia. Now Manila seems to be taking on this new villain persona. So we'll see what next episode shows. But if she gets out, all I'm saying is, Gia mentioned it when she was leaving. She's like, I brought it on myself. I wasn't expecting to stay basically after this. And she was actually had a very gracious exit. She was very calm. She's very collected. She thanked Rue for giving her the opportunity. But yeah, Manila better watch out with this drama because now I feel like everyone else is getting along just fine, but now Manila made this statement and everyone's gonna kind of start targeting her. So next week they doing a little preview. They're doing a Jersey Justice. Michelle is the judge, and there's a lot of cake being thrown. And then there's this little clip that Trinity is asking Valentina, like, if I'm in the bottom two or whatever, like, what are you gonna do? And Valentina's like, oh, I'm gonna send your ass home, bitch. And like, it's like there's no way that actually happened. I'm sure that they edited it that way, but if that's actually true, oh my gosh, Valentina's such a snake. So we'll see what next episode brings. So, to recap, my bottom three all turned out to be correct. I thought Jasmine Masters, I thought Pheromone, and then I thought Gia were all going to be the first three to go home. So far, that is correct. Right now, I still think Manila, I still think Valentina, and I still think Naomi. She's been third every single week, so I feel like she's probably going to be top three. And then I think Trinity is next, probably followed by Monique, and then I think Monet and Latrice. Is that everyone? So wait, I said Valentine, Manila, Naomi, Trinity, Monique, and then Monet, Latrice. There's 7 left. So Monet and Latrice, I think, are the next 2 that probably will go at some point. So we'll see what next week brings. But again, if Manila happens to find herself in the bottom, she better hope she does some loving up on these girls to bring her back into good spirits with them. Anyways, so who do you want to see going home next week? What do you think of this episode? What do you think is going to happen next episode? Love to hear your comments. Comment below. And one of these days, when I start getting a little bit bigger of a following and more comments, I might start doing some shout outs. So go ahead and do something shout worthy. Alrighty. Well, it's good seeing you all. Take care.